Good afternoon, investor and corporate. Welcome to Digital Roadshow Year's End 2024 Performance Review. This session will run about 45 minutes, including Q&A. Company will start the session by 30-minute presentation, followed by 15-minute Q&A. During Q&A, investor may leave your questions in meeting room chat box or use raise your hand function. We will open your microphone so you can ask the question to the company directly. May I now invite WHA Corporate Public Company Limited to start the presentation.
สวัสดีครับ Thank you very much for your time and attention today นะครับ Let me start a presentation on overall 2024 performance highlight นะครับ Now today I think probably most of you already know that we just recently announced the fifth business hubs นะครับ mobility นะครับ So today we have 5 business hubs. On logistics side, at the end of 2024, we have 3.1 million square meters under our portfolio and under our management. Last year, we have new project, a net rent of 162,000 square meters. In addition to that, 115,000 short-term contract on the logistics side. On mobility side, after 1 year of starting the business, now we have 330 leased vehicle dispatch to customers, and 38 chargers installed. In the first year of the full year operation, now mobility have around 132 million Thai baht with net margin of 70% in the first year of operation, which is quite in line with what we planned for this business model. On the industrial development side, in 2024, we have 2,565 right of land sale and around 2,020 right of land transfer. And just a quick reminder that the P&L recognition, the revenue recognition is up on the land transfer, not the land sale agreement signed. And also on the utility and power side, volume-wise 166 million cubic meters and around 7% increase year on year. On power side, end of year, we have 965 secure PPA equity megawatt. And in terms of financial performance, last year, top line revenue in the financial statement, we show 14.3 billion Thai baht of revenue. A couple of factors which I believe that I mentioned throughout the years that the top line of 2024 would reduce from 2023 because of a couple of factors. First of all, in industrial development side, we have one project that is recorded as joint venture, which is called WHA, which we hold 60%. But even with that kind of stake, accounting-wise, is treated as a JV. So we only record share of profit on this project. But in here, I adjusted for illustration purpose that if we consider if it's the IER project were consolidated, the figures will become 15.7 billion Thai baht. Somehow it's still lower than 2023. But then the second factors, the major factors that arisen during the year in 2023 that we decide to not to make the asset monetization on the logistic property part. Last year originally beginning of the year we planned to sell both industrial assets and logistic assets into REIT. But end of the year we only do the asset monetization of the industrial properties. So that's already that definitely bring down the top line. However, with very robust and strong margin of land sale, with very robust and strong margin of utility, and growth of rental income, including Mobilix. At the end of the year, we record normalized net profit of 4.5 to 6 billion Thai baht. นะครับ 2% year-on-year growth นะครับ and also it's in line with the guideline that I mentioned during the second half of the year that 2024 would be very close to 2023. If we beat it, it will beat not in the big margin นะครับ if we lower than 2023, it will not be in the big margin. And at the end, we coming in 2% above 2023.นะครับ so it's the third year in a row that we make a new record high นะครับ in terms of normalized net profit นะครับ at the end of the year we continue to have very robust financial position net interest bearing debt to equity of 1.04 times นะครับ in terms of 2025 target นะครับ to be delivered on logistics side this year we target นะครับ to have new project a new build of 200,000 square meters นะครับ of which 30,000 square meters would come from industrial properties นะครับ the remaining is logistic properties นะครับ asset monetization this year we also target and plan for 70,000 square meters around 1.5 billion Thai baht นะครับ and on mobility side we plan to trying to increase from 330 leased vehicle last year to 1,700 leased vehicle by the end of the year and double the chargers installed from 38 to 76 นะครับ in terms of industrial development I would have to say that this is the initial target that we announced นะครับ and normally we would do a mid-year review of the target almost every year นะครับ the initial target which to me is quite a conservative one we put 22,350 right as an initial target นะครับ Thailand 1,700 Vietnam 650 นะครับ and utility side we put the target for the volume of the water sale this year at 173 million cubic meters and PPA side we trying to achieve additional 220 megawatt and make the portfolio to 1,185 megawatt of which 65% of this portfolio would become renewable นะครับ which is reflect our drive throughout at least last 5-6 years that we're trying to develop into more and more renewable portfolio in terms of power นะครับ and investment plan for 2025 นะครับ this year we project that we would have a investment plan capex of around 20 billion Thai bahtนะครับ logistic 4 billion mobility just 1.5 billion because it's still early years of this business hub นะครับ industrial development as it's still very robust and very hot market นะครับ for industrial estate so we put 9.9 billion Thai baht นะครับ as a capex for this year นะครับ utility and power continue to have a lot of opportunity to pursue นะครับ so we put 4.5 billion as a target capex this year นะครับ Okay, let me go through only some of the award and recognition. Recently, the latest one we are now considered in S&P CSA Sustainability Yearbook within the top 1%.นะครับ and in terms of the company in the real estate sectors there's only 2 companies นะครับ globally that is considered as top 1%. We are one of which and we have the highest score based on the S&P Global CSA standard in the highest score in real estate sector globally นะครับ let me go through only some of the pages in the logistic business นะครับ if we go to page 19 นะครับ just would like to show you this page to show the customer portfolio especially on the logistics side นะครับ because this page would also help explain the other pages on the mobility side นะครับ on the customer portfolio existing customer portfolio you would see that the consumer goods third party logistics food and beverage, e-commerce, automotive, electronic, dangerous goods are a very core of our customer customers in the logistics side of the business. You could see from this page that most of them are international company, global company, which as a global policy, lots of these players would like to do the decarbonization on the transportation. That's one of the driver, one of the starting point that we're looking into the possibility of employing EV, commercial EV in our ecosystem. Let me touch a bit up on the mobility slide. But here I would like to highlight on some of the key project highlight in page 21. This year we will start a new project WHA Mega Logistics Center ชลประทานพิจิตรkilometer 4 project 2 this we have land area more than 500,000 square meters. We plan to build around 300,000 square meters of building area we will start in this year for this project on the right hand side Thepara Kilo 21 phase 3 we would only have remaining building area around 34,000. So by the end of this year, I think we would fully book a fully develop on this phase, this project. And Mega Logistics Center, Bang Natra, kilometer 23 inbound, building area of 50,000 square meters. By the end of the year, I think we should already close to 100% occupancy rate by the end of the year. And also we exploring additional projects in Vietnam. The first project that we do with our partner Daiwa House in Hung Yen province called DPL Minh Quang inside the Minh Quang Industrial Estate. The project now, the building now is ready for rent. Total building area up to 37,000 square meters. And also we exploring additional project in Thanh Hua province, the same province that we are doing additional industrial estate. We just got the MOU with the province in January to do the feasibility study to the development of logistics zone for 300 right in the province. The location is really good, really next to the highway from Thanh Hua to Hanoi. And just an update on the business that we acquired end of 2023 WHA GC Logistics. Now we are in the process to transform the business from third-party logistics into the fourth-party logistics. Which we target to optimize the logistic network to employ more and more technology and create value to customers. So and growth on throughout the asset light model. This we believe that if we successfully transform we will create by 2030 2 times revenue growth, and we're trying to the target is to increase net income by 4 times in 2030 from the base that we buy last year. Just a quick on the target this year again on the new area new target, new project, new build 200,000 square meters in Thailand 163,000, international 37,000. And by the end of the year, if we reach this goal, the area under our management will become 3.3 million square meters. Asset monetization, quick recap, 70,000 square meters, 1.5 billion Thai baht that we plan for this year. On mobility side of the business, I may take a little bit more time in this section because it's a new business that we just recently announced. Mobilix now the very good definition for Mobilix. We now saying that it is the build to suit EV ecosystem of logistics. So 2 keywords here: the build to suit and ecosystem. Start with ecosystem. We are not only doing only rental service to customers. We're doing for the whole ecosystem, which comprise of EV rental service, software solution, and charging solution. นะครับ so because we envisage that in operating EV นะครับ on one hand it can not only they create a positive impact to environment นะครับ but it also at many cases we can create the value creation in terms of economics also not just ecology นะครับ so but in order to operate EV commercial EV efficiently you need we believe that it needs a software solution platform and it also the charging solution นะครับ this software solution we take around close to 2 years to develop นะครับ it consists of 3 modules 6 features ranging from route optimization, predictive charging and maintenance, roaming platform, battery management, driver charging driver application, and fleet management, นะครับ which would really enhance the operation of commercial EV fleet, นะครับ and in 5 years, what we are trying target to do is we from 330 units in end of last year นะครับ this year 1700 นะครับ in 5 years we're trying to scale it up to 20,000 vehicle this vehicle นะครับ and the 20,000 we coming from research of the market side which I would elaborate on a little bit later. This page would show you the global truck rental market นะครับ with the 2023 figures of around 125 billion. It has a potential to grow to 229 billion globally by 2032. นะครับ quite a significant growth นะครับ with the Asia Pacific is also a big market, a significant market because of the rising of the economy also นะครับ and we're looking at the global players, a big size global player for commercial truck rental service. You could see from this page a lot of companies here. You would see the scale more than 100,000 vehicle นะครับ I think at the current stage most of them have both ICE and EV, but looks like from the public information I think all of them have a tendency, a policy to shift to EV on for the commercial truck side also นะครับ and if we coming back to look at the market in Thailand นะครับ in Thailand at any time we see the figures that we have the truck นะครับ from pickup 6-wheelers 10-wheelers trailers combined is around 8.3 million units นะครับ 7.1 of which is the pickup 4 wheels นะครับ and 1.2 is others bigger than 4 wheels นะครับ and within the 4-wheel sectors the personal use, the home use is around half and the commercial use is around half นะครับ so combined 3.6 and 1.2 it means that total commercial vehicle at any time is around 4.8 million units นะครับ then we're looking at the example of the conversion rate นะครับ we're looking if we assume 5% it will mean 240,000 units to be converted in by 2029 นะครับ so you may ask where the 5% come from ครับ we're looking at the example of China market นะครับ even though China the very main mode of transportation, the commercial transportation is railway นะครับ because of the size of the countries and a very good rail system in China นะครับ a very big portion of transportation in China using rail system นะครับ even so we conservatively assume 5% conversion arising in China นะครับ so 20,000 that we target by 2029 if you compare with 240,000 units it's not such a big portion out of those whole market conversion นะครับ and one of the reason that we don't put not yet that big of the portion market today is still in very early days นะครับ and our game plan especially during the initial years we're trying to target on the selective sectors นะครับ so initial target sectors that we are looking is the blue chip end users you see here third party logistics FMCG healthcare e-commerce or consumer product นะครับ which is exactly the same customer groups that I showed you before in the logistics sectors the logistic properties that I showed you earlier นะครับ because that is the existing customer base that we have or logistics side those customers who are in the warehouse of 3.1 million square meters of in our managementนะครับ on top of that we also have manufacturing we also have petrochem the other 1,000 factories inside our WHA industrial estate ecosystemนะครับ which would become the initial target sectors นะครับ and those blue chip end users in real life lots of time they own a couple of not big portion of their own fleet นะครับ they would employ a big proportion of the outsourced transporter and sometimes they have hybrid mode some own fleet and some outsourced transporter นะครับ so we are trying to provide a build to suit total solution for the whole ecosystem either directly to the blue chip end users or their transporters or their third-party logistics นะครับ and we're trying to leverage on both inside and our side and outside our existing customer base also นะครับ so let me move on to industrial development side นะครับ currently we have 15 industrial estate in Thailand and Vietnam 13 operating 2 developing industrial estate นะครับ and 2 expansion projects at the moment นะครับ in Vietnam we also have 2 potential new industrial zone that we just signed MOU in January นะครับ in terms of customer base นะครับ this page is different change from last time we showed นะครับ last time we count by number of customers นะครับ but now we notice that we take observation that the later plot that we sell to customers is bigger and bigger นะครับ so now we measure it by area size นะครับ by nationality นะครับ China becomes now 20% of overall portfolio when we measure by area นะครับ Japanese is number 2 at 20% Thailand 18 US plus Europe is around 21% นะครับ during the last 3 years Chinese 64 นะครับ US 12 นะครับ Europe Japan and Thailand is 2 to 3% นะครับ in terms of sectors 3 main sectors both in the overall portfolio and during the last 3 years are automotives consumer products electronic and electrical appliance นะครับ the new items that you see here is the digital and technology นะครับ during the last 3 years is 10% นะครับ that include data center นะครับ in this category also นะครับ in terms of operating performance last year we coming in land sale 2,565 right นะครับ lower than the year before นะครับ but the contract value of 2565 is more than 20% higher than 2719 in the year 2023 นะครับ because of the land sale average land price per right increase นะครับ especially in Thailand นะครับ backlog by the end of the year we have 1535 นะครับ 1,535 right นะครับ most of that coming from Thailand นะครับ Vietnam is only 5 right here นะครับ and at the end of the year we also have another big ticket items นะครับ 450 right นะครับ that counting in this page still counting in LOI MOU นะครับ but this plot already got signed and secured which would eventually reported as a land sale นะครับ I believe in Q1 นะครับ 2025 นะครับ land transfer นะครับ land transfer last year 2020 ไร่นะครับ a big portion of which coming from the JV company นะครับ just one last note นะครับ the backlog 1535 and one big ticket item 450 right นะครับ most of that combining 2000 right most of those are scheduled to be transferred นะครับ within 2025 นะครับ okay let me show you the page 41 นะครับ this is the pipeline of development นะครับ this page you would see 6 project นะครับ EC 2.1 EC 3.1 Rayong 36 phase 2 EC 4 phase 3 IER phase 3 and the latest one EC5 นะครับ the latest development latest project EC5 just a quick recap we just finished securing the land plot for this project beginning of 2024 นะครับ by the end of 2024 we already achieved EIA approvalนะครับ at the moment we already start construction of this project at the moment the sales team already start marketing start having customers looking at the master plan and lots of plot most of plot I could say that it's now being earmarked to a lot to customers นะครับ so our sales team is saying that this project they believe that we could close the sale within 1.5 year นะครับ so it's much sooner than in the past นะครับ in the past when we buy raw lands นะครับ it would take many years before we can complete EAA it take quite many years before we can start selling to the customers so cash inflow is quite it would take at least 3 to 5 years นะครับ but the market environment today the demand come in very big wave นะครับ so and it still continue นะครับ so this year as I mentioned earlier we still put 9.9 billion Thai baht for capex of industrial estate นะครับ which means that we would soon นะครับ announce additional project into this page นะครับ Okay, for Vietnam นะครับ Vietnam at the moment from last time I would like to update that the IRC นะครับ of Nghi An Zone 2 is already achieved นะครับ by end of 2024 นะครับ and beginning of this year นะครับ we already obtained the IRC for phase 1 of the second province ทันหัวนะครับ and for zone 2 นะครับ in ทันหัวnow we already submit the IRC นะครับ and we expect to have in the first half of this year and start construction by the second half of this year นะครับ so this year it would mean that we would have more projects to offer to the customers นะครับ and you will see in later page let's move to the target page นะครับ that's why also this year นะครับ even though we only coming in only 112 right in Vietnam last year this year we put the target at 650 right นะครับ two of the main reason we see already that from the customers that delay the decision นะครับ from last year the political change in Vietnam and also waiting to see the election result of US นะครับ now we from starting of the year we see the activities resume นะครับ customers coming back to visit and to further discuss after suspend for quite some time นะครับ we see the activity fully resume นะครับ and we now have additional projects to sell นะครับ so we bring back the target to the similar level of initial target that we put in 2024 นะครับ so the full year target 2350 Thailand 1700 Vietnam 650 นะครับ okay And in terms of utility and power นะครับ utility overall 7% increase increasing volume in most of the product นะครับ except the raw water next page ครับ the raw water last year is quite flat นะครับ because the dispatch of the gas IPP which is our main customer for raw water นะครับ is lower than expected นะครับ because last year the hydro plant has a lot of water so it got decided to dispatch more hydro plant than usual นะครับ otherwise the volume growth is quite in line นะครับ on utility side the strategic in 2025 continue to capture opportunity outside WHA territory นะครับ on top of the organic growth inside industrial estate นะครับ which nowadays we have new S-curve industry like the data center นะครับ that consume 12 to 16 times of the standard quota that we give to customers, the other customers นะครับ so it come if we have positive effect into two steps นะครับ in this year especially the big customers that buying from us 1,000 right last year นะครับ they would consume around 15 times of the standard quota. The effect is that this year and next year WHAUP would recognize quite a big size of the excessive charge นะครับ one time charge that for the quota of the excessive additional demands that they have นะครับ and afterward after the customers complete the construction of the site and start consuming so organically that would increase the volume of water sale นะครับ that's two layers นะครับ and in terms of Vietnam utility side it's have a good development นะครับ last year both Ge Lo and Song Duong นะครับturns profit back to the WHAUP นะครับ quite improved in operation นะครับ and also organically inside the industrial estate we have more and more contract from customers coming in นะครับ and power side นะครับ we end of the year we are at 965 equity megawatt of which 701 megawatt already start commercial operation นะครับ we continue to have 528 megawatt of conventional power plant นะครับ 2 IPP 8 SPP นะครับ and in terms of operation นะครับ it's quite normal last year operation wise there's no big hiccup last year นะครับ Gecko 1 which the IPP plant นะครับ the big IPP plant in year 2023 you could see from this page that availability is quite low at 85% นะครับ there's some incident นะครับ but the dispatch is really low นะครับ because EGAT นะครับ put Gecko 1 as a reserve shutdown mode นะครับ but in 2023 EGAT dispatch more normally on Gecko 1 นะครับ operational wise there's no issues นะครับ but the issue come from the high cost coal inventory นะครับ that stuck in the Gecko 1 stock นะครับ that hit P&L this year นะครับ so turns out that Gecko 1 instead of providing share profit it turns out to be loss contribute to UP this year นะครับ I will touch a bit upon in later slide นะครับ on renewable portfolio นะครับ this year we have COD of additional 42 megawatt นะครับ we signed 290 more megawatt of which 106 megawatt come from private PPA นะครับ in terms of generation of power from solar project we have 35% increase in generating volume นะครับ in 2024 นะครับ as I mentioned 2024 throughout the year we have 42 megawatt นะครับ to declare COD this year นะครับ this year we would have on schedule additional more than 100 megawatt นะครับ to start commercial operation so it would means that this year and next year นะครับ we will continue to have the organic growth of gigawatt hour of power generating from solar project and create revenue นะครับ this year UP continue to target for 220 megawatt 175 in Thailand 45 megawatt in Vietnam นะครับ on top of that we are trying there also exploring additional S curve business นะครับ like SMR hydrogen battery storage and carbon capture projects นะครับ which would be quite a big one in the longer term prospect of the WHA UP นะครับ let me skip digital นะครับ but go to financial performance directly นะครับ because we have a quite limited time now the top line I believe that I already mentioned to you นะครับ to a couple of factors นะครับ lower size of asset monetization the biggest factors นะครับ that make the top line lower than last year นะครับ but with the strong GP นะครับ of land sales strong GP of utility business the growth of rental revenue นะครับ bottom line นะครับ we continue to have the third year นะครับ all time high นะครับ increasing 2% นะครับ next page it will show you the change in four revenue type นะครับ rental property 23% increase นะครับ utility business 7% increase นะครับ land and sale of property that's reduced นะครับ 13% main driver again lower size of asset monetization นะครับ power business reduced by 23%. The only factors, the main factor is the Gecko One projectsนะครับ that contribute loss นะครับ couple of pages นะครับ in terms of GP นะครับ on rental property นะครับ coming very strong 64% นะครับ mobility already start contribute นะครับ 35% GP level นะครับ on land sale นะครับ full year coming very hot นะครับ 61% overall นะครับ gross profit margin in Vietnam that's 57 นะครับ our own project 62 the JV project 64%นะครับ it's coming as we guideline before นะครับ water side utility นะครับ very robust 37 นะครับ increasing from 34% year earlier นะครับ on the right hand side the blue chart here that show you that the 500 million นะครับ from that change of the share profit from power นะครับ that's a result of Gecko One นะครับ and in terms of recurring to non-recurring นะครับ this is very big factors that we're trying to monitor and manage นะครับ last year we coming in almost 50-50 นะครับ and in terms of let me go to dividend page นะครับ dividend page now we propose for shareholder approval นะครับ dividend full dividend last year of 22.85 billion Thai baht นะครับ increase from 2.75 billion Thai baht a year earlier or 3.6% increase นะครับ performance wise we normalized net profit increase 2% นะครับ and for the 2025 target financial perspective on page 82 นะครับ from the target that I mentioned before นะครับ this year นะครับ from 14.3 billion Thai baht นะครับ we envisage that top line we should see somewhere around 20 billion Thai baht top line นะครับ in terms of normalized total revenue and share profit นะครับ EBITDA margin นะครับ we expect it to be continue to be robust นะครับ 5-year target we always saying that we trying to keep it above 40 นะครับ กลับมาหน้าเดิม above 40 นะครับ but this year we would like to we think we would see more than 45 นะครับ whereas even with the 20 billion Thai baht capex นะครับ in net interest bearing debt to equity continue to be within our discipline of 1.2 times นะครับ 5 years plan นะครับ 5-year plan we plan to we see the opportunity to make a top line 2.9 times growth นะครับ keeping EBITDA margin 40% นะครับ keep recurring to non-recurring around 50-50 but in this page you see recurring 54% นะครับ by using the capex plan of 119 billion Thai baht นะครับ and this page I would like to also mention that with 119 billion Thai baht capex for 5 years without considering the spin-off of the WHA ID นะครับ we still can maintain discipline at 1.2 times นะครับ having said that the bond covenant is actually 2.5 times 1.2 is a discipline that we put in นะครับ however if we consider on the spin-off of the WHA ID to effect นะครับ we envisage that it could bring down the interest-bearing debt to equity into 0.7 times นะครับ which means that the intention of doing the spin-off is actually it's not coming from the necessity นะครับ but we're trying to create the stability financially นะครับ and also at the same time open for additional opportunity นะครับ on top of 119 billion Thai baht นะครับ the business as usual capex that we put in นะครับ so again this is not on the necessity นะครับ but it's focused on the stability and opportunity ครับ thank you very much for your attention ครับขอบคุณครับ
This session has come to the end. Thank you very much, investor and corporate, for joining the conference. If you do need further detail, please feel free to drop us an email. ขอบคุณครับ
ขอบคุณครับ